Hey, welcome back everyone. It is now June 7th of 2021, and ever since the very end of The Mandalorian Season 2's finale, a lot of Star Wars fans, let's face it, have been very much invested in exactly what Jon Favreau and Dave Filoni are really creating for the future of the Star Wars franchise by Disney and Lucasfilm. This is Mike Zero. Make sure to subscribe if you're new to the channel for future Star Wars content. Also, make sure to check me out at Mike01 on Twitter if you would like to. Now, moving beyond all of this, we do know that, of course, Disney and Lucasfilm, they're very much trying to regain many of the lost fans from those that walked away from the sequel trilogy movies and others that actually walked away from the Gina Carano situation when she was fired from The Mandalorian Season 3. The thing about all of this is that we obviously know that when we go ahead and examine everything related to the future of the Star Wars universe, alright, there's been a lot of problems happening between, of course, Kathleen Kennedy and the Acolyte series. That's one particular TV show that is really not being best built to her own ability, because that's basically going to be her own legacy. That's going to be her Star Wars legacy, if you will. And that's one thing that's really having a lot of issues behind the scenes, given that Kathleen Kennedy is firing a lot of writers and directors out there, how she's also creating a lot of problems with Leslie Headland, and how there's been a lot of creative differences back and forth, on and on. However, when it all dwindles down to Jon Favreau, alright, this is a guy that is absolutely trying to change Star Wars for the better. When we go ahead and look at what Star Wars has, become, obviously a lot of fans have been very much happy with what happened with the Season 2 finale. That was just the beginning. That was basically just the tip of the iceberg of what Disney has the potential to do with the overall Star Wars brand. Now, with that being said, of course, with Jon Favreau and Dave Filoni now actively working on shows like Ahsoka and Mando, Kathleen Kennedy is desperately trying to get things going with the Acolyte TV series for Disney+. Now, it's described that Jon Favreau is planning a major addition to Star Wars by incorporating one of the fan-favorite characters, Mace Windu, in The Mandalorian Season 4 for a 2023 release date. It's described, however, that Favreau is planning to do something very special for the fans by including an elderly Mace Windu for Season 4 that is set to communicate with Luke Skywalker to tell him new truths about Anakin Skywalker, his father, and the fall of the Jedi. It's best described that much of Luke's knowledge of what happened during the prequels is set to come from Mace Windu giving Luke Skywalker special information about the beginning of the Dark Times and more, and that Ahsoka Tano will also be involved with handing Luke over some detailed information about what happened during the prequels and more. Now, this detailed information, of course, being delivered from Mace Windu to Luke Skywalker about what happened during the prequels, this is all set to be teased for the book of Boba Fett, in which Mace Windu is set to get a major tease as a character that will set up his appearance for The Mandalorian Season 4 to have a major role by Samuel L. Jackson. Samuel has already been in the talks with Jon Favreau for months now, and that he is already involved in the treatment for Season 4 of The Mandalorian series. Dave Filoni is said to also be involved in how much of the story between Luke and Mace Windu will be told, and that this is also set to tease a Mace Windu series that is being planned for the near future as well, that will get announced at Star Wars Celebration of 2022. So here's the really interesting thing about all of this, is that when we go ahead and examine Jon Favreau and what he's trying to do with characters like Mace Windu and Luke Skywalker, he's basically trying to use Mace Windu as basically the source of delivering very valuable information about Order 66, Palpatine, the fall of the Jedi and the Jedi Order, the rise of the Galactic Empire, his father Anakin becoming Vader. All these different things are going to be delivered by Mace Windu and Ahsoka Tano. That, to me, I believe, speaks volumes. It tells us, the fans, that what they are really trying to do right now is that they're trying to really interconnect characters from the prequels and characters from the originals. And I think that's a very interesting way to go about doing things. The fact that Mace Windu is such a beloved character, they're trying to pretty much deliver this to the fans that Mace Windu survived the fall in Episode 3, Revenge of the Sith. Even Samuel Jackson said that he and George had discussed this, that it's very possible that Mace Windu survived the fall from Emperor Palpatine. And I agree, obviously we never got to see a body or anything like that, and Jedi can survive from very high areas. When we look at what George Lucas tried to set up, with, of course, past installments of, other characters coming back to life that were rejected for Star Wars Legends, that really did not see the light of day, you can see that a lot of those older ideas are now coming to light for the Star Wars canon, for Disney. So, take it for what it is. When we look at George, John, and Dave, I believe that they are really going to deliver when it comes to making Star Wars as best as possible. Given that the Book of Boba Fett coming out this December is set to actually provide a major tease for Mace Windu's return into the Star Wars universe, that to me sounds interesting because they want to tie the Book of Boba Fett with the Mandalorian timeline. And the Book of Boba Fett is described to have a Godfather Part 2 type of format, where it is going to go back and forth throughout time. So that to me is a very interesting component of how they're going to tease Mace Windu. It seems like that each and every Star Wars TV show is going to have major cameos. If you look at, The Mandalorian Season 2, we have Luke Skywalker, Ahsoka, and others out there. When we look at, other shows that are coming, we have a lot more characters, like the Kenobi series is going to have Anakin Skywalker / Darth Vader. Or if we look at the Andor TV series, that's also said to have Darth Vader as well, and some other major cameos. The Book of Boba Fett, they want to make sure that it's going to have a major character reveal, and one of the fan favorite characters from the prequel trilogy era, and I do respect that. I'm just not quite sure how some fans are going to react to this. Some fans may believe that, Mace Windu coming back may be a little bit overboard, and that a lot of characters are just coming back to life way too much. And I can see that argument. I totally understand that 100%. I mean, if we look at Star Wars, Darth Maul came back, Palpatine came back, even technically Kylo Ren / Ben Solo came back to life after he was thrown into the pit, thought to be dead, right? It's a common trend that anybody who falls off of a high area or into a deep chasm comes back to life or has survived the fall. That's pretty much the common trend right now, with Han Solo pretty much being the only one that was not the case. So, like I've said before, I think that this is a very interesting development of how the Book of Boba Fett's going to tease for what's to happen in Mando Season 4. Let me know what you guys think about all of this below in the comments, and if you guys did enjoy the content for today, do make sure to drop a thumbs up on this video to support the channel. I thank you all so very much for the kind support, and I'll catch you guys next time.